Alright guys, I figured I would make a quick video on this. You know, California does have some oil base, and when you're doing new iron, this is my gate. I would never do this on a customer's house. I just would tell them we don't have any paint to do this with. But I just, I'm making a gate. I didn't want to go through and remove, it's brand new iron, and you wipe it all down, try and get all the oil off, and you can wipe it a couple times and you'll still have some oil residue from the new iron. And so the best thing to use on that is always oil base. You guys back east to still have it. We do have some oil base, and it is basically, I'm going to tell you what it's like. I mean, this is primer that's on here, and they have an oil-based primer, and it sticks pretty good. It does the job, but it is crap. You can't brush and roll it. You really should just take the iron gates off and then spray them. To me, that's for this kind of a slope, trying to make a gate for this already is really hard to do, and so it's easier to do it in place. Well, because it's on a slope, it has to be really, the best way to do it is build it in place to make sure that it's going to fit right. You could probably screw up pretty easily on that. So it of course it's heavy and it has to be welded in place while you're doing it. It's much easier to do. So I have to brush and roll it, and I would not spray this, of course, and I really don't care. I live in a rural area, and I really just don't care if it looks perfect or not. I just want it to be protected, and then later on I can always sand it down and then hit it with the stuff we have that's water based. It's just a water based paint, and it turns to oil when it dries. It goes on a lot smoother than this. It's not really the best stuff to brush and roll either, but it's a lot better than this stuff is. Check that out, man. That is roller nap big time. And if you thin, people go, oh well, try Flow-Troller, try all this. You guys don't think I've ever used that stuff? I mean, hey, you can try all the Flow-Troller. We don't even have any paint thinner. The paint thinner we have is basically acetone, and this stuff, as soon as your roller touches the metal, it starts drying. So it's impossible to roll. The only thing you can do is spray it to make it look good. And so this is the crap oil base that we have. So you guys back east, someday when they change all the EPA rules, you guys might all have all this crap, and then you'll have all kinds of fun with it. It's just garbage, complete garbage. It's basically, I want to say, it's Henry's roof tar and lacquer thinner mixed together. That's about what it is. Look at this. I mean, this has been on here like a couple days, and look, it's still wet. It doesn't dry. It takes like months for it to dry. I'll show you something that's been on there for a couple months, and I'll just touch that up. I don't really, like I said, I don't really care. I just tell people we don't have oil base because this is the garbage that's available, and it's only available in the iron stores. So after about, I think 6 months ago I did this. I mean, it finally does get hard. It takes about 6 months for it to happen. And then at this point you could actually sand this down. It makes a good primer, but it does take 6 months of pain if you want to look at it for 6 months to make it look good. Then you go through and sand this down. You got a nice primer on there now, and you can paint that. But like I said, I live in a rural area. I really don't care. I just wanted it protected, not rusty. So anyway, this is about what you end up with the good old California oil base. Hope you guys never have to deal with it. It's just shit. It's the worst paint ever. It's basically, like I said, it's Henry's roof tar, and eventually it gets hard. Look at that. I mean, it's just so soft. I can just dig my fingernail into it, and this has been on there a couple days. Any other oil base, you guys that have used it, it would be dry, after 48 hours in the sun, in the summer, basically, because it's warm enough to be summer here. But that's the kind of garbage we have coming, and they're just made they basically took everything out of it that makes it good. You try and thin it. The only thing you have in California to thin it with and to clean your brushes with is basically acetone. It says on the shelf that it's paint thinner, and you smell it, and it smells just like acetone. So you tell me what it is. Basically, it's acetone. And so if you go across the border and you pick up even paint thinner, and I just happen to have some old paint thinner, you add it to this material, and the guys go, oh, you just add paint thinner to it. You get the Arizona paint thinner, you add it to it, and it works great. It works okay. Well, it does work better, but then it turns flat and it starts going white in 6 months. So, guys who think they're getting away with something by doing that, it doesn't really help. So it's just crap no matter how you put it. It's just crap is crap is crap no matter how you put it. I know what the good oil base used to work like. I've even used some when I was out of state, and they had the Benjamin Moore stuff. It was really good. I forget what that one's called, Super Spec or something, the Benjamin Moore oil base. And that stuff's really good, and it dried really nice and slow. Somebody gave me some, and I happened to have it in California, and man, I was like, oh my God, I missed this stuff. And it was satin. We haven't had satin oil base in, like, I'm thinking 20 years, 15 years. They got rid of satin oil base in, I think, the late mid 90s, late 90s. It's been that long. So anyway, this is what you have to look forward to, guys. The crap oil base from California. And even the stuff, I guess, what's it called? The biggest paint company. It's on the tip of my tongue. Just a second. Rust-Oleum. They have oil base too, and their stuff is not the same as what you guys have either. It doesn't roll and brush anything, and you have to thin it a little bit, most of those, and you can't thin it with anything, so you end up with a mess with that too. So it's really nappy. It just doesn't look very good, and it's garbage. But I don't know if it doesn't dry like this stuff, but I didn't really want to buy it. I just think it's kind of expensive, and like I said, I really don't care. I just want it not to be rusty. And then when I go to paint it again, I'll use the water base over that, which sticks really good to it, and I can just run a sander over it, smooth them out, because I just wanted to paint behind where the wood goes on this fence. Talk to you guys in the next video. Just thought I'd share that with you. Please like, share, and subscribe.